that was the we had the title track on the Death Row Two Gangster for Radio album. We had the title track Two Gangster with my big bro Drexler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long was you with this group?
We still in a group together, but I mean, the group when I joined the group, it was what 1998.
Okay.
Yeah, so since '98, and the group members, I knew some of them in elementary. The rest of them I met in junior high. So we've been knowing each other forever.
And so, what kind of music that you guys do? Is it rap or what?
It's rap, it's hip hop. Like I said, the first thing we came out on was the Death Row Two Gangster for Radio album. So yeah, it's definitely hip hop. One of the guys in the group, Casey Snow, he raps, he sings, he's a dope writer. So it was a dope thing. But like I said, we done that for so long, and then as you start to grow, life happens. You start to have children, people got families. Right. So we don't have the opportunities that we had back in the day to just be in the studio all day, because now we got jobs, got kids, girls, wives, and things of that nature. So life happens, and then that's how the solo thing started to come into place.
Okay. Well, that's good. So now you're on the solo project, and what is your project called?
Right now, I got the single with Game. It's called Two Times.
Okay.
And that's the lead single. I have a project that I'm working on. It's a documentary titled "Is Child Support Fraud?"
Oh, okay.
And the single that I got with Game is the lead single off of the soundtrack. Like I said, that's just what I know as far as when you're creating content like a movie or a documentary. From the era that I come from, there was always a soundtrack associated with it.
It was back in 1998 and so forth.
So that's what I know. So that's what I'm doing. So the project is Child Support for All. We got the lead single with Game. We got a second single that we're gonna put out January. But right now we're rocking with the single with Game. We just shot the video Saturday.
Oh, okay.
It's picking up on the radio. It's already getting spins.
Okay.
So that's what we're rocking with.
And what's the name of the song again?
It's called Two Times.
Two Times. Is it on YouTube? Can we find it on YouTube? Where can we find it?
Yeah, so it's on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Two Times featuring the Game, and my homeboy Cole went on the hook. He's DJ Quick's nephew.
Okay.
It's a dope record. But it's everywhere.
So what was you doing at the time when Game reached out to you?
Well, I'm just an all around hustler that turned entrepreneur.
Okay.
Like I'm an owner. I have a t-shirt printing business in the city of Hawthorne. It's called South Bay T-shirt printing.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I've been doing since 2016.
Okay.
And as I was telling you before we started the show, I hadn't done music in a while. I just wasn't really motivated to be in that creative space. And I was content with, I just wanted to be successful. And I found success within my t-shirt printing business.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I've been doing. Because
did you bring me a t-shirt?
I don't have t-shirt. I print t-shirts for other companies. So I was just about to say I have contracts with Mattel, Cedar Sinai, Kaiser, Manhattan Beach Unified School District, the Manhattan Beach Hawthorne Police. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm doing every day.
Okay.
So that's what I was doing, and then just out of the blue, my homeboy Game calls and say, "Hey man, what you been doing?" And I said, "Man, I'm at the shop." Like, "No man, I've been looking for you. Send me something. Let's work." And for the last 2 months, I've been back doing music.
Okay. Well, let's talk more about your business. So you got all these contracts and stuff with different people, which is awesome, especially being that you are an African American man. That's just awesome. What I wanted to ask you about the business, do you have employees?
Yeah, I got 6. I got 6 employees. So we do screen print, we do embroidery, we do direct to garment. So it's a full-fledged business, and Right now we're looking for our second location.
Oh, good for
So
you.
yeah, it's a full-fledged business that I'm running.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. That is excellent.
Thank you.
So, so you got this project going with the game. You're single,
Mhm.
and so are you just working on the single itself, or are you gonna add more to that?
Yeah.
Is it gonna become an EP? What's the plan?
Well, yeah. So that's the lead single, but it's off of I'm working on the documentary and soundtrack is Child Support for All. So we
Okay.
got the soundtrack to the documentary that I'm working on. I have a second single with a I can't even I'm not even at a liberty to discuss who's on it just yet,
Right.
but it's big.
Okay.
I'm talking about it's big, big.
Okay.
But that's what I'm working on right now, finishing up the documentary, working on the soundtrack. And right now we just pushing the lead single. Like I said, we just put it out. It's been out 2 weeks.
Okay.
We just shot the video 2 days ago.
Okay.
So
Where did you guys? What city? Was it in LA or?
yeah, it was in we shot it in Hollywood, Woodland Hills. Just the content of it, like I didn't want to just be the typical like, because that's not who I am today as a person.
Right.
Like I've evolved. Like I just told you, I have contracts with Cedar Sinai and Kaiser. Like, so I'm not. If I was to just get on camera and street, people that know me like TJ, that's not what you've been doing. Like, what do you?
That's not you.
I can't even look at myself in the mirror, knowing that that's in my past. So I wanted a clean representation of who I am today as a man.
Okay, so tell us about this child support. Okay,
So,
tell us about that.
So, sure, I was a victim of child support fraud by the County of Los Angeles for 21 years.
So, which means what? What do you mean by child support fraud? How do you get caught up in some fraud? Like with child support? I don't understand.
Right. So, how can I say it real quick? All right. So, I represented myself in a 2-year hearing. In 2018, the case got dismissed. So 2016, I took the County of Los Angeles to court.
Okay.
Because I just felt, knowing the information that I knew, it just didn't sit right with me. So I finally took them to court, and going through that 2-year process, we found out that the child that they said that was my child, at the time, I was a minor when the child was conceived and born. I was a minor.
Okay.
A teenager, actually preteen.
Okay.
Well, we found out during that time that I wasn't even eligible to produce semen at the time this child was conceived. Process that. I see your eyes like, wait,
like,
what did
what
he say?
do you mean? Because like, I know people that's having babies at 13. So
Right. So at the time, I'm gonna say it again.
Okay.
At the time this child was conceived, I was not even eligible to produce semen.
So that means you were like a little kid, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
But on top of that, where they allegedly served me at, it turns out the house was vacant where they served me at.
So that wasn't legal by itself.
I had to subpoena LADWP. And thank God for the internet. I tracked down the owner of the home. Thank God the owner of the house today she still owned the house from back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So she came with, at that time, I hadn't rented this house out to nobody. She had police reports showing that the house was vandalized months before and after because it was still vacant. LADWP, I subpoenaed them because they didn't want to come and testify on my behalf because they're part of LA County as well. So they want to testify against this. So I had to subpoena them to come. Their records showed that at the time when you said you allegedly served someone and his family signed his paper, there was no power at this house at all.
Wow.
It's crazy. So on top of it was a whole bunch of fraud. Like this case is so unprecedented. Like in the language, my case was dismissed for actual fraud. It says that. That's what it was dismissed for fraud. So it's.
But is that kind of like still on your record? Because
no, it's wiped completely out. Like they had a lien on my name for 21 years.
Wow.
It's completely gone. Completely gone. Like when the case was dismissed, they offered to pay me back penny for penny. I declined it.
Why?
I need 21 years of damages. You had this on my life. You hindered me from getting jobs. You take my license, deny my passport, all types of things. I need 21 years of damages.
So are you suing him?
Yes,
right
I have a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit against him right now. Just got an email from my lawyer 2 weeks ago, said that they expressed intent to settle because they can't go inside a federal court when the lower courts already dismissed the case for fraud. You've already been found guilty. What are you contesting?
Right.
So that's where we are with that right now.
Oh, I mean, how does that happen to a person? Like,
but it's not it's just not me. It's not an individual success, and that's why I started childsupportersfraud.com.
Okay.
Because I didn't want my success to be an individual success. And going through these everyone's different paperwork, they have rules and procedures that they have to follow when they start these cases.
Right.
It has to be signed by a judge. I mean, everybody's watched Law and Order, or you know that only a judge can sign a warrant.
Right.
They come knock on the judge's door at 3 o'clock in the morning. Judge, we need this warrant. And what are you gonna say? I need to see the evidence. But so judges don't. They have magistrates. They have friend of the courts. They have commissioners. These are all attorneys that's over these cases. They're not a judge, so it's not a legal proceeding because the person that's up there is not a judicial officer. So it's a whole lot of different aspects that goes into, based on what the law says, it's fraud. So when I say it's child support fraud, it has nothing to do with the other parent, and it's not an attack on women. I'm a great father. I have 3 kids.
Okay.
I've taken great care of my kids. All of my friends that are my friends, 20, 30 years, we take great care of our kids. So it's not, I don't condone deadbeats. So people have this thing with child support is associated with, when you hear child support, it's like, oh, that's a deadbeat. Like, no, I advocate for the fathers that are been there from doctor's appointments before the kid was even born. Like, these are the people that I advocate for.
Okay.
Because the system they created is intended for them to bring you down and tear these families apart. And that's what I'm on, child support reform. Okay.
And that's awesome. So give them where they can find this at and get help from. Give them the website.
So the website is childsupportersfraud.com. And even attorneys have contacted me and said, well, aren't you afraid? And even I had a child supports attorney from the County of Los Angeles. He I think changed the code and they pushed it through. And then everybody got it.
Okay.
But they took your unemployment check. Garnished. It's in the law. But they took thousands and thousands of dollars from millions of people in a pandemic. They don't give a fuck about us.
Right.
So I don't give a fuck about them. The system. So I'm not worried about them coming after me.
Okay. Because, I know other people that had like lawsuits with the police department and stuff like that. And the police constantly came by their pad, or they were driving in the car and they just got harassed. So, that hasn't happened to you?
No, not yet.
Hopefully it won't.
The cops have the same problem he had.
Yeah.
They fuck with cops too.
Yeah. No, they don't discriminate at all. The person that educated me, my mentor, he was an ex New York police officer.
Oh,
and
okay.
so he knows he trained the New York Police Department on the laws and rules and procedures that they had to follow to stay with the line. So he knew the law.
Mm-hmm.
They don't discriminate. All they care about is the money. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. They don't care who they getting it from. And me, as far as child support, I've dealt with it on both sides. And like I said, I take great care of my children.
Mm-hmm.
For 7 years, my daughter's mother, she got in some trouble.
Call from Alonzo Williams.
And I had legal custody of my daughter
It's Alonzo
for
Williams.
7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got her, I wasn't in the best. Her mother was receiving Medicare for her.
Right.
So when I got her, she was still receiving Medicare because I didn't have a job
Mm-hmm.
to have insurance for her.
Right.
So they put the child support on her mother.
Right.
So I experienced it on both sides.
Oh wow.
And then once her mother got her life together, and once she got a job, they start taking her money.
Yeah.
So she said, TJ, man, they taking my money. I said, okay, well, what did I do? I walked into the child support office and told them I need to fill out a voluntary case closure form. They looked at me like I was crazy. Like, how the hell do you know about that?
Oh wow. Okay.
I said, no, I want to close the case. And they said, well, why would you do that? I said, because child support is fraud.
Right.
They said, oh, so let me just get you to sign this paper. Let me get you out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you out of there.
So yeah, I experienced it on both sides.
Oh wow, wow. Okay, so that's great. You have the successful business. You have this organization that you are forming, which I know gaming's all about different organizations, especially helping the Black fathers and stuff. I've seen him in the
Of
past,
course.
do some walks and go up to the police department and stuff like that. But with all this going on, you have this team. Of course, they contacted me. What is this team doing now for your music career at this time?
The PR team that I got, they are the backbone of what I'm doing right now, because
Okay.
I can't do everything by myself.
Okay.
They are organizing. Like I said, they reached out to you. They're contacting. They're public relations, so that's what they're doing.
Right.
Getting me in front of cameras and
Mhm.
opportunities to be able to speak and to get my music out to the world. So they're my booking agent.
Okay.
That's what they're doing right now.
And so with you having this PR team, okay, as a music artist, what do you recommend? Because a lot of these new artists, they hard-headed, they want to invest no money into what they're doing, but they want to be popular. They have this ego, you know what I mean? So what's some advice that you can give these artists that are just coming to the game, but their head is like already out here and they haven't even made it? So what are some advice that you can give like these new and upcoming artists?
The best thing that I can tell you, just think about this. Just say, for instance, if you've seen somebody, they're out, just say you've seen a car broke down on the side of the road,
Okay.
which you see them all the time on the freeway. You see somebody on the side of the freeway. Like
Mhm.
all of us, we drive right past them.
Right.
But if you've seen them, their car broke down and they was behind the car, pushing the car,
Mhm.
you may be inclined to get out to help them.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm saying is,
Mhm.
if someone see you pushing yourself,
Mhm.
they'll be inclined to help you.
Mhm.
That's the best advice that I can tell you. You got to do it. You got to start yourself. Like you said, it best, just do it.
Mhm.
Get started. Don't worry about what you don't have. Use the resources that you do have.
Mhm.
That's use whatever's in your control.
Mhm.
That's the only thing that you can control. Once people see you putting in the work for yourself,
Right.
people will be inclined to have, oh, well, man, I can help you do this, or I know somebody. But if you ain't pushing for yourself, ain't nobody gonna help you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's some great advice. You know what I mean? Like totally great advice. So you got this video soon, it's gonna drop. When do you think it's gonna drop though?
Well, we just, like I said, we just shot the
Yeah.
video Saturday, so they start editing it yesterday. So as quick as they can get it together, we take a look at it and make some adjustments. We looking at hopefully by sometime next week we'll have this thing ready and getting it out there.
Okay, so where are you taking your music? Are you gonna take it on the road, or what's your ultimate plan?
Yeah, so definitely getting on the road. We got the record like right now. The record is really moving down south with Alabama, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas. So we definitely planning on hitting the road. It's only been out 2 weeks, but we're almost at 100 mix show spins, and on not iTunes, on iHeart and urban radio stations. So we definitely planning to get on the road. As of right now, it's only been out 2 weeks, so we just getting it out, getting the video out there, get the booking agent, and we definitely planning on hitting the road.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So just being the person that you are, what is it that we don't know about you that you would like to share with us?
Really, I'm not a can you say it? I'm a real quiet, reserved type person. Like if there's nothing to talk about, I ain't really saying shit. Like I don't really, excuse my French. I'm not the person to just go walk up to someone and start the conversation. Like I'm more reserved, laid back, but it doesn't work well with in this business. I've learned that is key.
That's the key.
So and just the other day, I reached out to some people and they said, okay, well, I got you X, Y, and Z. And I was like, man, they ain't got back. Let me just, hey, I'm just following up. Like, so that's just something who I am. I know who I am. It's not really in my character, but you have to maneuver through to get where you want to go.
Right. Is there a special woman in your life?
Yeah, I've been married for 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Great.
yeah, I've been married 5 years. Uh, she she's a great support system for me.
Right.
She not necessarily like she don't really too much care for me being very supportive. Like even like within the business, when we first started, and I had, I'm printing and printing and printing, and when I wanted to take it to the next level, it's like, okay, I need to get these machines. These machines are $20,000, and they're like, okay, well, yeah, we can give them to you, but the interest is going to be because your credit ain't so much.
Right.
What she stepped in and she co-signed for it, and within a year had it paid off, and so like you just need that type of
support system. Yeah. So let me ask you, with your business, how long have you been in? You said since 2016. Yeah. So that's what, like 5 years. Oh, great. Yeah. So so your net income from the beginning is better now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll take that.
That's like God. I'm not in location where the business is located. It sits right on the corner of Rosecrans and Ocean Gate, where there's a million businesses. I sit right in between T-Mobile and Goodwill. There's South Bay Ford on one corner. There's Starbucks on another corner. We're on another corner. Gas station, Home Depot. All these businesses are right here. So it sits right where in the melting pot of where everything is. And people just like to shop local. Custom Ink is the largest t-shirt printing company in the world. They're just online. They're starting to move into Walmarts now, but they were solely online. But where people were getting is the product once they receive it, it's nothing tangible. They can't touch it. They can't pick out what the fabric that they want.
Yeah,
it's just like I'm just ordering online, and when I get them, like
right.
In that market where I am, people like to shop local.
That's true.
the product that we've been producing for the last 5 years is being great. So word of mouth. It started from one school. The first school I ever printed for was the El Segundo Eagles.
Okay.
I started off with the football team.
Oh, okay.
And
That's the way to go.
that led into introduced me to the principal. I started printing for the school, got in contact with the school district, and from there it spread like a wildfire. Yeah.
Wow, that's so amazing. I mean, your story, I mean, you have like 3 or 4 stories into one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just amazing. And, shout out to your wife for supporting you. And
definitely.
how old are your kids?
My daughter's 15. My sons are 8 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, here's a strong Black man, you know what I mean? He got a business. He's in the music industry. You know what I mean? He got this documentary coming up. The video's finna drop. So, I mean, what more? I mean, Jane, you just a collaboration of several projects in one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. That's
how it's
great.
working.
That's great. Any shout outs you want to give?
Just shout out. I want to shout out you for having me.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm honored to be here. I mean, to even, like I said, 2 months ago, I wasn't even doing music.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't have the passion. I wasn't inspired to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
And when Game called, it's just like he just gave me a boost. Me knowing it's like, okay, an artist of his caliber reached out to me and said he wanted, let's work.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is something that I've needed to get in these doors, because like really, like people just, it's like they want to be attached to him.
Right, they do.
So it's like they gotta use me to be the vessel to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
So be it.
You're right.
And me, I'm sliding his name like a credit card.
I will be too. Do you know if WAC 100 is still managing him?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just wonder about
I'm
that.
not. Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, give everybody your Instagram, your social medias, and
Yeah. So everything me related is TJ with the Scar. You Google it, it's gonna pop up. That's the IG, Twitter, everything is TJ with the Scar. If you're looking for information in regards to child support, it's childsupportisfraud.com. That's the website, and Child Support is Fraud on IG.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being here. I
Thank you
can't wait to the video. We gotta bring you back when the video drops.
Oh, most definitely.
So that we can, airdrop it on our stuff so that we can play it,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I so appreciate you being here, and thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, with that being said, I'm Melody Allen with Wigginnoutradio, where hip hop and entertainment happens. Tune in, you guys. October 25th, we got Pookie, the king fucking Pookie Root is what his name is. So you can look him up. We got Lulu Phenomenal coming up. So you guys stay tuned. You guys look me up on Instagram. It's Wigginnoutradio _Melody Allen. Melody Allen on Facebook. Sabrina Love on Twitter. That's a whole nother story. And tune into Bed Talk next Wednesday at 7:30. We have YBI that will be coming on Bed Talk. So with that being said, you guys, toodles, and I love you. Bye.
TJ, what's your number, dog?
323-490.
Hold on.
4949
3215.
3215. Think I don't know where you came from, but you sound just like me. You say that you using the same analogies, the same philosophy that shit with the car, and help the motherfuckers help themselves.